Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. My channel is about yarn and knitting and crocheting and all kinds of stories involving yarn, knitting, and crocheting and just general life and how that all relates. I don't know, I'm a little tired. Crazy, huh? Maybe it's because right now it's late night on the 5th, but this is for early in the morning in the 6th video. It is dark. It's dark. It's dark at like 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm over here going, it's bedtime. I keep telling my husband, as soon as he gets, it's midnight. It's midnight. It's bedtime. He's like, woman, it's not midnight. I have my eyes just like drooping. It is about 7:30 p.m. I'm over here going, I'm tired and it's bedtime. He's like, I know that's a bit excessive, but oh my gosh, as soon as this time change has just absolutely killed me this year. I have been exhausted as soon as it gets dark. It's midnight. It's bedtime. You know, the dogs know what time it is. Oh yeah, they do. They know 5 o'clock, it's feeding time. You know, they definitely know what time it is. And then right after that, I'm over here. I am exhausted. That's just how that works. I don't know. I got a little bit done earlier on a blanket that I just recently started. I'm trying to do one of those Granny Meets Virus shawls, you know, the virus shawl with some interspersed granny squares and everything in there. And I like the colors that I picked. I'm having some issues with it. I mean, crocheting is fine. I can crochet, I can knit, I got this. It's okay. But I'm having some issues with it because the garter stitch portion, or not garter, really? Let's mix. I can mix knitting in with my crocheting, but no, the granny square portion of it, it's like too many stitches. And I knew it was too many stitches. It just didn't look right. And I just went with it anyway. So then to kind of adjust, you know, on the granny square and everything, because I had too much stitches, I need to have it taller and not increasing more. So then I did a couple rounds of triple crochet for the granny clusters as opposed to the double crochet to kind of lengthen those stitches a little more. Yeah, that part of the blanket's a little puffy. It's fine. It'll be fine. And so I'm working on that and getting it nice rainbow colors. Right now I've got some reds in it and yellows. I'm going to move to orange, and the goal is turn it into one of the Boggy blankets, the Camp Boggy Creek blankets, and give it for donation. And the size parameters are 35 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches long. So if you're going to do a square of any type, 40 by 40 is your sweet spot. So that's what I'm working on. And I'm about 25 inches into it right now. Crocheting a blanket, worsted weight yarn, size H hook in that manner, it goes pretty quick. It does. It's crazy. I did some blankets earlier in the year, and I've got to mail those out. You know, my husband says if I pack all my stuff up, he'll go to the post office. Ooh, sweet deal. So there are some packages that I need to pack up and get in the mail. You know, there are people who are expecting packages, whether they realize it or not. I'm sending packages. I'm doing something, right? You know, family, we are 19 days from Christmas, December the 6th. Wednesday, 19 days. And if you're like my family, you do things on Christmas Eve. Everyone does things a little differently. I grew up, we did it on Christmas Eve with mom and dad, and then Christmas morning, you would open up, Santa Claus would bring you a gift or something like that on Christmas morning, and you would open up that Christmas morning, but the rest of the stuff that you got, it was Christmas Eve. And then we would go to Grandma's house on Christmas, and we would spend the day at Grandma's house. And that's how I grew up with it. And I always had my kids like that too, is we did stuff Christmas Eve because that's, again, how I grew up. But it works out well because now that my children are all adults, they have Christmas Day free to spend with the other family, right? You know, so that works out really well. So we've always taken Christmas Eve and they get Christmas Day, and we're quite happy with that. But what that means is I've got 19 days. 19 days to finish stuff. Yeah. Huh. So if you've been around, you know that I do socks for my family for Christmas, and that's a labor of love. You know, each sock has 10,000 plus stitches in it, or at least the ones that I do. And that's a labor of love, you know, so you get well over 20,000 stitches. And I'm looking at this one, and the mate to it is in my purse. It's not done, right? You know, and I got to finish this. This is beautiful, and it's sparkle, and it's Christmas socks. And I've got some other socks in the works. And I was thinking, you know, if I can open up my little drawer down here. Oh, I can get into it. Look at this. I have some. I've been working. I have some. Yeah, so, you know, I'm looking at these. I made a hat with the leftover yarn with this, you know, so I've got some for my daughter, you know, and I got, oh, these aren't, that's mitts. Oh yeah, this is like a royal alpaca yarn, locally grown and combed and everything here in Colorado. And hubby wanted a pair of fingerless mitts. Hubby's gotten spoiled this year. If you've been watching, I haven't given him his mitts yet, but he does know that I have them. I did give him his sweater for his birthday, which was Monday. So he got that. And then I've been working on all sorts of other, I don't know where his socks are, but look at those. Aren't those cool? I mean, look, I got socks. I'm making some. What else do I have down here? I'm gonna grab some more. It's one of these bins, one of these blue bins. What I do is I make the socks, and I do various sizes. My daughter-in-law has like size 6 feet, little tiny feet, right? She's 4'11", so her feet match, right? Otherwise, you know, if I had little tiny feet like that, I'd tip over, because I'm 5'8". I'd tip over. But you know, so I'll make some specific for her because she's the only one that has feet that small. I don't make the socks for the kids. And then my oldest son, his feet are size 13. So, you know, I've got that range in there. I just make them and they'll fit somebody, right? I've got a range of people. Now I'll make some intentionally for her and intentionally for my oldest son, and everybody else is kind of an in-between size, and whatever I make will generally fit, you know, the girls or the boys. So that's how that works. But I've got all these pretty colors. See, I've got, look at this. Oh yeah, I like the sparkles. So it's not just these. So I only have the 2 pair of sparkle socks this year. Once I finish this one, I love it. I love this, but I have to finish this one. And I mean, it just, I'm not the only one who's dragging. I know it. I make a lot of stuff, but right now, by gosh, I don't want to knit the socks. I don't want to knit the socks. I don't. As my son says, if they don't get socks on Christmas morning, it is pandemonium of telling the kids that Santa Claus does not exist and that everyone gets cold. I mean, it's just, he said, there will be chaos and there will be all sorts of things and it will be terrible and there will be crying and gnashing of the teeth. I have to make the socks. So I got called out a few months ago. So I've really been putting an effort into it. I think I have enough for everybody. Look at those. I gotta count them because I make them, and like I said, it's just one of these bins right here. It's just down the bottom one, right? Because it's in a little pattern. They go down a diagonal, and I just make them and I toss them in there, and you know, these are nice. Look at those. I like this. This is that heritage print. You've seen me work on that a few times. That's this stuff too. Heritage print from Cascade Yarns. It's generally about $15 for a ball of yarn, something along that line for this particular one. Little Knits has it, $7, $6.99. You know, if you're interested, I don't have any affiliate links or anything, but hey, I like a good deal. And I love this yarn. I got a bunch of the different colors. It works well. It feels nice. There you go. And, you know, making the socks out of it was really fun because my first 2 skeins of yarn that I got with this, I made tops for my grandsons. Because it's just, look at that Fair Isle. Look how pretty that is. And you just don't have to do any of the work. You know, you're not worrying about multiple colors or stranded knitting or anything along that line. It just looks nice. And then, you know, I upped the value on this by adding in the toes and the cuffs, which I think looks great, but it does make it to where you have 6 ends to tie in, to weave in. And if you're one that just absolutely hates weaving in ends, it's probably not a good idea. But, you know, I'm not a fan of weaving in the ends, but I don't dread it, hate it, oh my gosh, gnashing of the teeth either. You know, I'm like most of us. I'd rather do the knitting and have the fun with that and creating the project than doing the weaving in the ends and stuff. But, you know, the finishing really does make it. So we kind of have to, you know, weigh it out and everything a little bit more. What other socks do I have down here? have anything else down there? Oh, I do. I do have some other ones. I'd move the whole bin up right now. I'm going to have to, but I've got a chair in the way. So it makes it difficult. Look at those. I have some blue ones. Oh, here's the other one to that one. What's this one? Aren't those pretty? That's gorgeous. I like those. Those are fantastic. Look at that color. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is a hand-dyed yarn. I don't remember what yarn. Yeah, I don't remember what yarn this one is, but they are gorgeous. I think I made that pair for me, but then put them in the bucket and figured if the kids grab them, they grab them, you know. These were fun. Look at those. Kind of, you know, little bit of a fraternal twin. They're not quite matching, so to speak, but they're definitely the same color. I think I might have a couple more of these around too. Yeah, I think I made a couple pairs of those. I got some really fun stuff. I've got some that are like a tiger stripe down here. I can see them. Oh yeah, there they are. Look at these. Aren't those pretty? Those are gorgeous. And it's interesting too, because I remember these. I started these years ago. Yeah, I just finished these this year, I believe. So when my son called me out, I did make a video on it and everything, and I showed all the projects, all the socks that I had that were in works, and I had them all piled up, and there's a lot. Yeah, there was a lot. It took up the whole picture. There's no doubt. I'm like, oh my gosh. And this was one of them. I was on the second sock and just had to finish it. Something along that line. So there you go. They are done. It's a pair. It's beautiful. I like the hand-dyed and that stripe tigery look on that. So I think I have enough socks, but I always like to have extra. And then look at these. Are you familiar with Arnie and Carlos? You know, they've got the different yarns and everything. I think they work with Regia. I don't say it right, but I understand what it's a sock yarn. So what it is some of their stuff, what they do is they'll have a yellow thread that starts it, and then you start at the end of that yellow thread, right? You cut off that yellow, and then it goes into the pattern. It's called a perfect pair, and you end up with two perfectly paired socks, and they have it in the kids version. Look at this. So here's they've been folded. I kept them folded like that, but here's the little kids version, and I probably do need to give them to, well, see, I got 3 granddaughters. There's an issue there, right? But look at that. So I have the cute little ones right here. I don't know if they'd fit one of my granddaughters or not, but I don't have 2 pairs. See, you know, your mom, your grandma, you know, you can't give one to one without giving one to the other. So this does mean that I'd have to make more. I don't want to make more. I want to work on fun right now. I want to work on, well, socks are fun too, but I want to work on a sweater, and I want to work on more hats. This time of year, I am so into hats and doing color work and Farrell hats and adding all the splashes and dashes and stuff. And I've got some really cool color work patterns that I want to work on. And you know, I got all these socks. I got all the socks. I'm like, I think I have enough. I think it is. I've got this pile. I just dropped them between my legs right now. They're on the floor. But I have this big pile of socks. And looking in there, oh, I have a couple more pair. I have enough. Why am I worried? Why am I worried? I have enough. Look at this. I want your honest opinion. Please put a link down below. If you had a bucket of socks that you got to pick from and they were hand knit, would you go for this? Would you go for this pair of socks? And look at that. Look how that is right here. Oh, just so you know, I'm not cheating, right? I do have both of them. It is an actual pair. But would you go for these? I mean, that is just a gorgeous hand-dyed, beautiful yarn. And like I said, look at that heel right here. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? I mean, would you pick this pair? And I'm asking for a reason. Because this pair has been in the bucket for years. It has. I mean, I don't get it. everyone, you know, because again, I try to make extra, right? And then everyone gets to pick, but this one has been here. I think I'm just going to have to keep them for myself, because clearly it's my color. I mean, you might not be surprised. I make a lot of orange themed socks. It might not be what the family wants, but by golly, it's the ones that I pick out for myself, and I enjoy it, and I like making it. But you know what? I think I might just have to keep these because they've just been languishing. No one's, I mean, they're in pristine condition. They've not been worn. They've been tried on like at Christmas, but that's it. But they've not been worn. They've not been washed or anything along that line. But yeah, these are just gorgeous socks. I mean, personally, you know, I mean, I would go for that over, like, these aren't patterned. I mean, the yarn's patterned, but so's the yarn on that one. But there's not patterns on these. These are just plain stockinette. I have one pair down here that's not. Yeah, this one, look, see? This one's called the Monkey Sock, and by Cookie A, Monkey, yep. So that is, if you go on the Knitty website, Knitty, they've got free patterns and everything. It's a quarterly magazine, so it is free there. But if you go on Ravelry, then you can buy a printed out copy. So either way, but that's what this one is by Cookie A. It's called Monkey. And, you know, so you got the nice patterning and everything else going on. But the rest of these are just the yarns doing the talking. Look at all this. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But it's, I mean, it's just socks galore. This is just everything. And yeah, this gorgeous pair. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's that super cabled. I mean, look at that. Look at the cable on that. Yeah, they're still around. So yeah, I'm glad we had this talk because I was kind of, I still need to finish the sparkle socks. I have 2 pair of socks on the needles right now, and I just, yeah, it's 16 days to Christmas. Yeah, or it's 19 days, or what did I just do the math? The 6th, yeah, whatever. Wow, you know, have I mentioned it's dark out? It's dark out. It's midnight. It's midnight. It is. I don't care what you say. It's midnight. That's why I keep telling my husband it's dark. But yeah, 19 days, or 18 for us because that's when we hand out the Christmas presents. So that's not that much time, and I'd like to get the socks done because I know that the sparkle socks always get takers. I do sparkle socks, and they always get somebody. And you know what? I think this is the first time I've used this yarn. I will link down below because I was asked what yarn this is, and if I can find on the Etsy, because I did get this from a seller on Etsy. I think you can still get this yarn. I believe it was like $16, $17 a ball. Don't remember exactly, but you know, prices change, etc. I have this in a non-sparkle version and a sparkle version. I don't have the ball band here, but behind there, I do believe I've got some more. I'll look that up and everything, and I'll put that down below for those that are interested in this. But yeah, so I have to finish that. Yeah, wish me luck because I don't want to touch it. No, it's in my purse for a specific reason because that's the one when I'm out. That's the one that I get to work on and things like that and try to get it done. But no, I don't want to. I don't want to. No, I don't. I'm like a child. No, you can't make me. I have enough socks. I give away about 10 pair and I'm like, I think I got it. I'm good. I got enough. So we're set. I think I do. So I'm feeling pretty relaxed on that. There's a lot of other things that I want to work on. I want to make another sweater for my husband. I finished his sweater and I'm really, really happy about that. And I'd like to make another one for him. And then of course he made the comment that, you know, if I were to make another one for him, he would really appreciate it if I got it finished for him while it's still cold out. Yeah, there is that. So yeah, and then there's so many other things too. I mean, if you've seen the channel, you know it. I work on a lot of different projects. I'm always pulling out something and grabbing something, whether I've had it on the needles for a while, like I don't know, some of those socks were on the needles for quite some time before they get finished, and other things I just whip right through. That's just how it is. But I have a project, you know, like squirrel, like, whoo, there's another one, there's another one. I get all excited and like, oh, let me go play with this. Let me go touch that one. And yeah, it's just, that's my relaxation time. I tell you, it's just absolutely amazing. But I don't force myself necessarily to sit down and work on one project or one specific thing. Some things take longer than others. Some things might sit on the shelf for a while. And you know, just because it's sitting on the shelf and abandoned for a while doesn't necessarily mean it'll never get done. Like that orange pair of socks, that tiger pair of socks, I started that one years ago. I literally years ago, and just finished it this year. You know, had the needles and everything. That was a pattern that I made up. So that was part of it. I'm like, oh, I haven't touched that in a while. What did I do? So I was able to read the knitting and figure it out. But yeah, until the yarn is 100% reclaimed, it's not necessarily a loss. It's just waiting until it gets its turn. There's nothing wrong with that. I still have some space. Not really. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't really have any space. Yeah, everything is just exploding. I need to find homes for some stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a combination too. That's why I give a lot of stuff away to the family and things, because, you know, if you're a crafter, you do realize when you make things, it takes up space. The yarn took up space and the project takes up space. And how many hats do I need to wear a year? I don't know. You know, so I share them. You know, that's just how that works. You know, we have fun. And then how many stuffed animals do the kids need? I mean, I got my little collection up here and everything, you know, and I've got one of these bins like this. I've got full of the stuffed animals that I've made for the kids, and they can come over and they know where they're at, and they'll pull them out and play with them if they choose to. And then I've got some other special ones that I've got up high. They've never really been interested in playing with the bug. I don't know if they really knew what it was. It's a ladybug head. I don't think she's ever gonna need a body. I started her a little over a decade ago. Really did. I looked it up. And I have the yarn for her somewhere. I'm not really sure where, but I do have it in this house. We moved into this house a little less than 2 years ago. And during the move, I do remember seeing it, and I had the pattern printed out also. So I have the pattern printed out and I have the yarn. It's Red Heart yarn. And I do have it all set in a bag. And I think I know where it could be, because most of the yarn is out on the shelves, or, you know, it's in boxes on my floor at the moment because, well, you know, I might have purchased a little bit recently. But in my closet, I have bookshelves and everything, bookcases that have all my books and everything. I've got 2 of those that have my magazines that I've had since I was a little girl, and then my books. And yeah, I've got that. And then I've also got some plastic bins stacked up. And I think that her yarn is in that. So maybe when I clear the closet and everything, I might be able to pull that out, figure out what I was doing. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. I got the pattern, I got yarn, right? And make a body for her. That would be kind of nice. I don't think she wouldn't fit though. You know, if I made the body for her, she'd have to sit like that. You know what I mean? She wouldn't be able to sit straight up anymore if I had the body, because, you know, that type of thing. But she's been waiting a long time. It's a process. It's a process. What's your longest languished project? You know, it's been sitting there and maybe whispering to you, maybe not. She doesn't bother me. She doesn't whisper to me. She's okay. But what project is it that you've worked on or you're working on that for whatever reason you sat down and you have full intentions of going back and picking it back up? What's that one? And what's keeping you from picking it up? I'd like to know. Most of mine they make a decision point. There's something in the pattern, whether I've gone off script, which means I'm changing something up with the pattern. I'm coming up with my own portion. I've started with theirs and I'm doing my own thing. And it's a decision of, hey, do I want the collar to look like this? Do I want it to look like that? Do I want it to be completely closed going up there, right? You know, whatever, if it's a top type of a thing, design like that. Is it, I'm going to be putting in some patterning stitches, and what type of stitches do I want to have? Do I want a hood on it? Do I not want a hood? I'll get to a decision point generally, and then I'll stop. Or sleeves. Yeah, sleeves will get me. Or sleeves. It's one or the other. But it's generally a decision point. And then instead of, you know, it's one of those you have to think about. You have to do something with it. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So that's why a lot of the other projects get started, because okay, now, hey, I started a new sweater. I started whatever. I've done my ribbing. Great. Now I'm going to work straight up for a while. Oh, I have a decision point. Yeah, I'm going to go throw that in the corner. I'm going to start again. So that's my thing. But what's yours? Which one gets you? That's why I like hats, because they're like just small little canvases. I get to do my little crazy thought processes, and before I do squirrel, I can probably get one done. Yeah, but tell me what yours is. I'd like to know. And I'm going to go ahead and get off here because it was midnight when I started, and now it's like midnight 01 or something. I don't know. It's still dark. It is so dark. It's midnight. It is just, that's just going to be my theme up until, you know, comes springtime. It's as soon as it's dark. 5:05, it's midnight. Nope, it's midnight. All right, everybody. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. It's midnight here, and I will talk to you guys again later. Bye-bye.